our cops, our community, and our city, the NYPD needed to change, and now it has. For the better. Our new plan of action includes trust, tackling crime, training, technology, and taking on terror. We've changed the way our cops work with the community by giving them the resources to forge real, lasting connections with the people they serve. We've driven down crime to its lowest level in 50 years by developing a new way of doing business. Neighborhood policing connects our cops with the community so they can work together to tackle crime and improve the quality of life in New York City. We've instituted new recurring training that emphasizes de-escalation and communication, and our field training program anchors Police Academy graduates in the basics of neighborhood policing and on-the-street police work. We've given a smartphone to every cop and put a tablet in every car, creating access to data in the field where it's needed most. We've instituted a dedicated operational counterterrorism unit that deploys highly trained, properly equipped critical response command teams around the city. The state of policing in New York City is strong and getting stronger every day. The people we serve demand it, and the men and women of the NYPD are listening. It's what we do. Now let's all work together to build one city, safe and fair, everywhere for everyone.
For nearly 2 centuries, we have trained to be strong and honest, to defend the defenseless,
Thank you. Would everyone please rise for the presentation of our colors and the singing of our national anthem by a member of this graduating class, Police Officer Arizli Arroyo. Let's hear it!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the
for our invocation by New York City Police Department Chief Chaplain, Rabbi Dr. Alvin Cass.
Hooray, Russ!
Almighty and eternal God, thou who controllest the destiny of all peoples, and in whose hand lies the fate of all nations, we invoke thy blessing upon these graduation exercises, even as we implore thy favor upon the outstanding young men and women gathered here today who have completed the program of training to become police officers and are about to receive formal recognition of that fact. Endow them with understanding that they might act wisely and prudently in the fulfillment of their duties and responsibilities. Cause them to place their trust and reliance upon thee, that they might better cope with the problems and situations that will confront them. Direct the hearts and minds of these young officers toward upholding and maintaining thy will upon earth. And may they ever strive to win the respect and esteem of their fellow New Yorkers by laboring for the relief of the needy and the comfort of the weak. And finally, dear God, we beseech thee to grant to Mayor de Blasio, Police Commissioner O'Neill, and all the men and women of the New York City Police Department, whose ranks have been auspiciously augmented by today's graduates, continuing success in their unceasing efforts to make New York a place where people of every race, religion, color, and creed can pursue their individual destinies untrammeled, unafraid, and in obedience to thy will. Amen.
And thank you so much, Rabbi Cass. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Take seats.
It's indeed my pleasure to introduce members of the dais assembled with us here this morning. I would ask that you please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Seated in the first row on my right, the Chief of Intelligence, Thomas P. Galati. From the United Arab Emirates Ministry of Interior, General Commander of Civil Defense, His Excellency Major General Jazir Mohammed Al-Barzouki. Chief of Transit Bureau, Joseph Fox. Metropolitan Transportation Authority, Chief of Police, Owen Monahan. Chief of Housing Bureau, James Secreto. Chief of Detectives, Robert Boyce. Chief of Patrol, Terrence Monahan. Chief of Staff, Raymond Spinella. The Police Commissioner of the City of New York, the Honorable James P. O'Neill. The Mayor of the City of New York, the Honorable Bill de Blasio. First Deputy Police Commissioner Ben Tucker. New York City Council Council Member District 16 and the Chair of the Public Safety Committee, the Honorable Vanessa L. Gibson. Deputy Commissioner for Equal Employment Opportunity, Nelja Ziegler. Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence and Counterterrorism, John Miller. Federal Bureau of Investigation Assistant Director in Charge, William F. Sweeney Jr. Assistant Special Agent in Charge, the New York Office of the Secret Service, Christopher Riley. Deputy Commissioner for Internal Affairs Bureau, Joseph Resnick. Deputy Commissioner for Trials, Rosemarie Maldonado. Deputy Commissioner for Support Services Bureau, Robert Martinez. Deputy Commissioner for Training, Tracy Cassie. Seated in our second row, the Commanding Officer, Patrol Bureau Bronx, Assistant Chief Larry Kunin. The Commanding Officer, Patrol Bureau Staten Island, Assistant Chief Edward Delatorre, and a former Commanding Officer of the Police Academy. Supervising Chief Surgeon, Dr. Eli Kleiman. Chief of Crime Control Strategies, Derek Shea. Chief of Manhattan South, William Morris. Chief of Counterterrorism, James Waters. Chief of Community Affairs Bureau, Joanne Jaffe. Chief of Transportation Bureau, Thomas Chan. Commanding Officer of the Police Academy, Assistant Chief Teresa Shortell. Chief of Personnel, Diana Mazzuti, and also a former Commanding Officer of the Police Academy. Police Department Chief Chaplain, Rabbi Dr. Alvin Cass. Police Department Assistant Chief Chaplain, Monsignor Robert J. Romano. The President of the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, Patrick Lynch. Director of Development for the New York City Police Foundation, Angie Harrison. Deputy Commissioner for Administration, Robert Ganley. Senior Executive, Law Enforcement Operations, Kings County District Attorney Office, Gregory Thomas. The Executive Officer of the Firearms and Tactics Section, Captain James Fulton. Tunnel to Towers Board Member, John Huvane. Deputy Commissioner for Strategic Communications, Bill Andrews. Seated in our third row, the Commanding Officer of the Candidate Assessment Division, Deputy Chief Lori Pollack. Commanding Officer Recruit Training Section, Deputy Chief Samuel Wright. Commanding Officer of the 1st Deputy Commissioner's Office, Assistant Chief Kenneth Corey. Commanding Officer, Special Operations Division, Assistant Chief Harry Whedon. Commanding Officer, Patrol Bureau Queens North, Assistant Chief Juanita Holmes. Commanding Officer, Patrol Bureau Brooklyn South, Assistant Chief Stephen Powers. Commanding Officer, Patrol Bureau Brooklyn North, Assistant Chief Jeffrey Madry. And Commanding Officer, Patrol Bureau Manhattan North, Assistant Chief Kathleen O'Reilly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our day. So we thank you for being here. To this graduating class, it's indeed my pleasure to introduce the Chief of Personnel, Diana Mazzuti.
Graduating class, attend up!
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Ready, move!
I do hereby pledge and declare to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and to faithfully discharge my duties as a police officer in the New York City Police Department to the best of my abilities, so help me God. Congratulations.
The Mayor of the City of New York, the Honorable Bill de Blasio.
Very happy New Year to everyone, and it's my great honor to say to all of you sitting here before me, congratulations, officers, you made it. And officers, I know it took a lot of work. And I'm so glad that you made this choice, that you had this sense of what you were going to commit your life to, that you did the hard work, you went through the grueling training, you went through all the exams, because you knew this was a high calling, and you stuck with it. And your perseverance already shows the people of this city that you will be outstanding police officers. So we celebrate you today. We celebrate your strength and we celebrate your focus, because no one gets here without that. Now, I also want to tell you, no one gets here without their families. And it's important to remember, this is your day to celebrate. This is your day of triumph. But every single one of you had the love and support of the people in your life to help you get there. So this is a moment where we should also say a deep thank you to all the family members. Give each other a round of applause. proud day as we prepare to celebrate the new year, I can think of no more fitting opportunity to think about what's good in this city than to have this occasion, swearing in of 480 new police officers. I see you as 480 new guardians of this city, new protectors of the safety of all our people, new champions of justice and fairness. That describes the important work you're going to do ahead. And the work that you're going to do is going to affect people's lives very, very deeply. You may not know the name of every person that you help, but there will be people for whom you change the course of their lives forever and for better. There will be families that have you to thank that a family member was safe. There will be people whose lives were put on a better course because one day they met you. And I can think of nothing more amazing than to have that feeling in your life, knowing how much you will do for so many people. Now, you represent the best of New York City in every sense. You represent the best of New York City because of the choice you've made, because of the hard work it took to get to this point, but also you represent all of New York City. You come from every corner of this city. You represent all the people that make up this city. You know, we're a beacon to the world, New York City. And in some places in this world, there's a lot of conflict, and that conflict sadly breaks along lines of faith or nationality or ethnicity. But people look at New York City and see people find a way to get along and make things work every day, and they look at us with a certain awe. Well, all that is possible because of you and all those who came before you. You represent all the countries that have sent people here and have helped us to be a stronger city every year. And you speak a wide range of languages, 43 different languages spoken in this graduating class, and that's going to make you even better at your jobs because you'll be able to relate to the many, many people you serve. Now, there's so many reasons that have brought each of you to this day. One that we all deeply appreciate is when one of you makes the decision to follow a family tradition. And we know here in this class, people who chose this important work because they saw a family member do it before and it was inspiring to you. And it's powerful that that tradition gets passed on from generation to generation. It's one of the things that makes the NYPD great. There's also a group of you who I want everyone to honor in particular. 38 of you in this graduating class. You're about to do something so important and so good for New York City. But I want to honor you because you've already done something great for your nation by serving in our armed forces. Thank you. Now, it's a noble calling for sure. But the moment that you're joining this force is a particularly powerful one, because the NYPD is doing things that literally were thought to be impossible. I recommend to all of you to look at an article today on the front page of the New York Times. And it's powerful because the whole nation will read that and appreciate the work that you're about to do in a new way. What this article makes clear is that crime in this city is down now to a point that we literally last saw in the 1950s. The 1950s, we are the safest big city in America. Congratulations to all of you living up here. But here's what's so powerful. Leaders like Commissioner O'Neill see that achievement as a beginning, not an end. We, all of us, believe we can go farther. We can be even safer. That we can bond police and community together like never before. That here in the biggest most diverse, most complex city in the country, we can show people a new and better way. And you all will be in the vanguard of that new reality. You know, it's a powerful thing to do good. But in some ways, even more powerful when you can help to create a brand new reality that's going to be an example to people, not only here, but all around, of how to do things a better way. We're going to show going forward how police and community working together not only creates harmony, but helps us to bring down crime further. You're going to be in the lead. You're going to be those change agents who help to achieve even greater heights for this department. Now, I want you to know that Commissioner O'Neill, as I'm sure he will tell you, sat there once too. Came up through the ranks, now the highest rank, the highest office in this department. And perhaps one of you one day, or more than one of you, will follow that same path. What's so important about that is that our commissioner and the whole leadership team here understand this work because they did it, and understand how important neighborhood policing is because they've seen the results. When Commissioner O'Neill put out the model for neighborhood policing, first under Commissioner Bratton, and then when he ascended to the commissionership, he saw what it did to change people's lives. And that's what's going to help us go farther, a model that works. The reality today was unimaginable a couple of decades ago. If you went back to the 1990s and told people we would be here today at the Beacon Theater and talking about this reality, safest big city in America, lowest crime number since the 1950s, you would have been laughed out of the room. People would have said it could not be done. Well, people who said it couldn't be done didn't understand the NYPD, didn't understand the greatness of this organization, didn't understand the ceaseless thirst to do better. You're blessed because you're joining an organization that never rests on its laurels, that every day asks the question, how can we get even better? That is the definition of a winning team. You're joining a winning team, a team that looks to do even greater things. Finally, I want to say this, not only to the officers, but to the family members. Everyone up here, we all have an obligation to you, because these good men and women have come forward to serve the city. Our job is to do everything that we can to keep them safe so they can come home to you every night. That means the best training, that means the best equipment, that means continuing to always innovate the ways to make sure this work is as safe as possible. And it also means, with the help of our colleagues in the City Council, the fact that we added 2,000 more officers on patrol in the last 2 years. Because more officers is good for everyone. We are committed to your good work and your safety. And look, I can only end with a thank you. Thank you for making the choice you did. I'm sure it wasn't easy at many points along the way, but you're doing something great. You're doing something that few people get to do. And all of us in New York City are the better because you chose the path that brought you to this day. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Pleasure to introduce the Police Commissioner of the City of New York, the Honorable James P. O'Neill.
Hey, everybody. Nothing back, huh? All right, good morning, everybody. All right, there. Maybe not so loud. First time you meet somebody you're on patrol, right? You don't want to scare them. Good morning, everyone. Let me extend a heartfelt welcome to all our guests here today. Sorry I had to wait out in the cold a little bit, but this is a historic theater, so I'm glad we're here today. A huge congratulations to all of our graduates. Before I continue, I want to make a special mention of a few of your class colleagues. We have Art Officers Hashim Al-Hamadi and Jassim Al-Darmaki of the Abu Dhabi Police, thank you for spending the last 6 months with us to train with our recruits. And thank you for the ongoing professional partnership the NYPD enjoys with the United Arab Emirates. I also want to recognize 23-year-old police officer Jake Siciliano, who was just 3 months into his academy training when he was diagnosed with an aggressive form of leukemia in October, who tragically passed away about 3 weeks later. When an officer swears an oath to serve the people of our great city, as Jake did, the NYPD swears an oath to that officer also. The department promises to honor him, to never forget his commitment to the people of New York. And always, those promises extend to the officer's family as well. I'd like to thank Jake's mother, Ann Siciliano, who's here with several relatives, supporting Jake's academy classmates, including his best friend, Police Officer Frank Caravetto. Thank you for being here, Ann, and congratulations, Officer Caravetto. Let's please give him a round of applause. Everyone here had the unique experience of standing for a police funeral all too soon in their careers, but as was expected, you displayed the professionalism and respect that's at the core of our academy curriculum. But today, and let this sink in for a minute, you're NYPD cops. Don't ever take that fact lightly. This is the largest, most respected police department in the nation. Arguably, it's the most diverse, and certainly it's the best trained. So today, at graduation, it's okay to smile because you deserve it. You worked incredibly hard to get where you're sitting right now. And remember today, you will remember today for the rest of your lives. It doesn't seem that long ago that I was sitting, maybe not in these seats, but it was in Madison Square Garden. And January 5th, it'll be 35 years as a police officer. It goes by quick. Enjoy every minute of it. There's a reason people decide to become cops. It's to make a difference, to do good. And you understand that cops are regular people who believe in the possibility of making the city safer and a safer country. Cops are ordinary people who sometimes find themselves doing extraordinary things. And you believe in the possibility of being part of something larger than yourself. Here's an example. This academy class recently visited the National September 11th Memorial Museum to remember and honor all those who were killed. You went to learn about the brave first responders who toiled in the rubble, searching often in vain for survivors. One story of triumph from that day indirectly involves 2 of your classmates. 2 brothers, police officers Brian and Christopher Strauss. Their dad is a former NYPD detective, Scott Strauss. He was a member of our emergency service unit before he retired in 2004. On 9/11, Scott, who had just worked an overnight shift and was off duty when the plane struck, immediately responded to Ground Zero to begin the arduous task of rescue and recovery in the middle of the largest crime scene our nation has ever seen. At about 8 o'clock that night, when Scott and his team got word of 2 people buried, trapped, but alive beneath nearly 40 feet of twisted steel and other debris from what had been the South Tower, they did not hesitate. The pile was still shifting and was still on fire. Despite the flames and choking smoke, Detective Strauss struggled for hours to squeeze himself down into the dark to help free what turned out to be 2 critically injured Port Authority police officers. Young Brian Strauss, who was 9 years old at the time, realized later as he grew older what his father's dedication and perseverance actually meant. Here's a quote from a letter Brian wrote when he entered the NYPD Academy in July. My father and his friends risked their own lives and everything they held dear for people they didn't know. Their only job was to help others regardless of who they were or what they looked like. That strength of character is what I want to be part of. I'd like to congratulate Brian and Christopher for following in their father's noble footsteps. And like all of us, to take a moment to acknowledge and thank 2 remarkable men here today who were forever joined by the tragedy in Lower Manhattan 16 years ago. Former detectives and NYPD Medal of Honor recipient Scott Strauss and his retired Port Authority police officer, Will Jimeno. Let's give them a round of applause. To our graduates, each of you is now an heir to the same tradition of service that has defined the NYPD since 1845. One group that knows that tradition well is the Fitzgerald family. Its members have been New York City cops for 5 generations, literally since they arrived from Ireland. And for the past number of years, Nikita Fitzgerald heard the tales of camaraderie and sacrifices described by his uncle and grandfather, who heard similar stories from Nikita's great-grandfather and his great-great-grandfather before that. 2 of his predecessors made it to the rank of sergeant, and the 2 others made it to deputy inspector, so there's no pressure, Nikita, not at all. Congratulations on your accomplishment today. Let's give them a round of applause. Next week will mark my 35th year in law enforcement. Today, I can tell you you're beginning what I know to be the greatest and most rewarding job in the world. Our primary mission will always be to fight crime and keep people safe. But we also must make people feel safe too. There is a difference. We must stay on top of the ever-changing threat of international terrorism, which is an around-the-clock task. We've had 3 such attacks in New York City over the past 15 months, 2 of which occurred within 6 weeks of one another. But we'll continue to stand tall and we'll remain vigilant, as long as we remember that everything our free and open society stands for. Freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from fear. Everything starts with public safety. New York is the safest big city in the United States due to the hard work of the men and women wearing NYPD uniforms out on the streets today, as well as the thousands of talented and brave cops who came before them. It's also because the people who live in, work in, and visit our city recognize and understand that to achieve true public safety, it takes everyone doing their part. It's a shared responsibility. When you leave this theater today, the connections you'll make in the neighborhoods you'll patrol, and the relationships you'll develop will keep people safe. They'll make people feel safe, too. I believe that this is one of the most exciting times in law enforcement. Our neighborhood policing philosophy is redefining what it means to protect our great city. And it's revolutionizing how we interact with the people we serve. What counts more than anything is your character, your integrity, and your professionalism. And remember, your safety as police officers and the safety of the people you're sworn to protect are deeply intertwined. Listen to people's stories, respect their cultures, work to address their concerns, and you'll find that the trust you'll earn will benefit everyone. As I said, you took this job to make a difference, to do good, and I know you will every time you put that uniform on. And know this, when people in other professions perform well, they might earn certain rewards. But when members of the NYPD perform well, you save lives. There is no greater reward than that. I want to thank the dedicated instructors and staff at the Police Academy, our Training Bureau, our Personnel Bureau, and our Candidate Assessment Division. And I'd like to thank the family and friends of our graduates. You are the ones who supported these officers as they embarked on this exciting new journey. And you're the ones who will be by their side for years to come. Thank you for supporting our city's newest protectors. To our graduates, congratulations again. It's my privilege to partner with you as we make our way forward together. When you leave here today, make sure to go out and enjoy today with your loved ones because you are a family, and I'll see you out there. Happy New Year, everyone.
Officer who has attained the highest overall average, scoring an overall score of 98.75%. Mayor de Blasio will present this award to Police Officer Christy Capilano. The Police Commission Award is presented to the student officer who has attained the second highest overall average, scoring an average of 97%. Police Commissioner O'Neill will present this award to Police Officer Jennifer Williams. The first Deputy Police Commissioner Award is for the student officer who has scored the highest academic average of 98.33%. First Deputy Commissioner Ben Tucker will present this award to Police Officer Michael Kudara. The Chief of Department Award is given to the male and female recruiter have achieved the highest physical fitness runoff score. The mayor will present this award to police officers Thomas Perone and Christy Capuano. The Deputy Commissioner of Training Award is given to the student officer who has scored the highest firearms proficiency average of 100%. The Deputy Commissioner of Training, Tracy Cassey, will present this award to Police Officer Klaus Salvatore. The commanding officer of the Police Academy Award is given to the student officer who has displayed exceptional police duty while assigned as a recruit to the Police Academy. The commanding officer of the Police Academy, Assistant Chief Teresa Chartel, will present this award to Police Officer Francis Carabetto. The Patrolmen's Benevolent Association Award is presented to the student officer who has served as the outstanding company sergeant for this graduating class. The president of the PBA, Patrick Lynch, will present this award to Police Officer Elvis Rivera. The New York City Police Foundation Award is given to the student officer for exceptional community service. The Director of Development for the New York City Police Foundation, Angie Harrison, will present this award to Police Officer Angelici Acevedo. Thank you. A round of applause for all our award champions. At this time, I'm proud to introduce the officer who received the Mayor's Awards, our class valedictorian police officer, Christy Capuano.
Good morning, Mayor de Blasio, Commissioner O'Neill, distinguished members of the dais, family, friends, and my fellow graduates. I have the distinct honor and pleasure to stand here before you today as the valedictorian of the December 2017 NYPD Academy class. On the morning of July 5th, 2017, we all woke up eager to begin a career that many of us have been working towards for years. At the same time, we were faced with the tragic news of a slain NYPD officer, Misotis Familia, an officer whose life was taken for simply wearing the uniform we would have the privilege of wearing today. Despite the news, we lined up outside the police academy, shoulder to shoulder, ready to embark on our new journey. Throughout these past 6 months, we were tested both mentally and physically through rigorous academic, physical, and tactical training courses. Along the way, we've learned to come together during times of grief, honoring one of our own, Officer Jake Siciliano, who lost his battle with leukemia. However, we've also learned to come together during times of celebration, and today is one of those days. We're here to celebrate our commitment and success in becoming police officers for the greatest police department in the world. On behalf of the graduating class, I would like to thank the Deputy Commissioner of Training, Dr. Tracy Cassey, Commanding Officer of the Police Academy, Assistant Chief Teresa Chartel, and Commanding Officer of the Recruit Section Deputy Chief Samuel Wright. I would also like to thank the following people for their relentless support and encouragement: my platoon commander, Lieutenant Tillwitz, squad supervisor, Sergeant Cox, official company instructor, Police Officer Dungus, and physical training and tactics instructor, Police Officer Martinez. All of you went above and beyond to help us achieve our goal of becoming New York City police officers. Collectively, you provided us with the necessary knowledge and guidance that we will carry with us through the rest of our career. I would like to say a special thank you to the members of Company 1745, and of course, our fearless leader, Officer Dungus, better known as the Dunginator. I would also like to acknowledge my company sergeant, Police Officer Minzueta, for leading us each and every day, and Assistant Company Sergeant, Police Officer Rodriguez, who never let a day go by without testing us on the latest material. I've had an unforgettable experience working alongside each and every one of you, and not only loved, but respected the competition we had amongst ourselves and our fellow classmates. Finally, I would like to thank my family and friends, because without their support, I never could have dreamed of reaching this level of success. And I'm grateful that you can share this moment with me today. In closing, I would like to leave you with a few words of wisdom. Yogi Desai once said, "Do everything with so much love in your heart that you would never want to do it any other way." This quote carries truth every day, from your life at home to your work as a police officer. Remember to give it your all, no matter how tedious or challenging the task. Protect and serve your family and communities in which you work, and most of all, respect and honor yourself. 6 months ago, we entered the police academy as individuals. We now stand here, shoulder to shoulder, but this time around, we stand as one. One family. Brothers and sisters in blue. We no longer have to be referred to as the gray shirts. We earn these uniforms, these shields, and the right to call ourselves New York City police officers. We now carry a responsibility to represent something bigger than ourselves. We represent the NYPD. Congratulations to all of you. May we all enjoy safe and successful careers. Thank you.
So much, Officer Capuano. And now to perform a musical selection, I'd like to introduce truly the finest pipe band in the land, the Pipes and Drums of the NYPD Arrow Society. officers who have served in our nation's armed forces, as Mayor de Blasio earlier mentioned. The Emerald Society Pipes and Drums will now perform a selection of military anthems. Members of the graduating class will stand and be recognized, and we also invite our audience and dais members. Will stand as the anthem of their branch is performed. Once again, the Emerald Society Pipes and Drums.
America set. Right. Click. Up.
United States Army.
responsibility beyond just their academic and physical training and acted as liaisons between the staff and the student officers. Will the company sergeants please rise and be acknowledged?
Company sergeants, attain up! Take seats.
Members of our audience may be curious about those officers wearing the gold citation cords. They are being recognized for achieving overall scores that place them at the top 10% academic average of this graduating class. This is a superior achievement, especially when you consider our curriculum is accredited for 36 college credits. Will those officers please rise and be recognized?
Gold citation cords, attain up! Take seats.
As Commissioner O'Neill earlier mentioned, we would now like to acknowledge the official company instructors and the instructional staff at the Police Academy, and now ask that they rise and be recognized.
Companies, attain up! Take seats.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Police Academy graduating class of December 2017 would like to thank all of you for your support that you have given them to make this day possible.
Graduate class, attain up! About race. Present homes. Order homes. About race.
And would everyone please rise for the benediction by Police Department Deputy Chief Chaplain Monsignor Robert J. Romano.
Hooray, press.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this day. 6 months ago, our graduates entered the academy to learn, and today they are about to leave to serve the people of our great city. They are our newest heroes. It has been a long road, but today they have realized their goal to be police officers. Today they become a part of the history of the NYPD. Lord, be with them in their future endeavors. Watch over them and keep them safe from all harm. Bless them with wisdom and right judgment to be fair and just in their duties and interactions with the people that they have sworn to serve. Let the oath that they have made and the excitement and zeal that they have on this graduation day follow them throughout their careers in our department. Bless our graduates' families, their wives and husbands, fathers and mothers, and their children, for the many sacrifices they have made and will continue to make for their loved ones' careers. Bless their instructors for the sharing of their wisdom and expertise. We thank them for a job well done. Finally, Lord, we ask you to bless and protect Mayor de Blasio, Commissioner O'Neill, and all the members of the New York City Police Department, uniformed and civilian, for the continual work that they have accomplished to make our city a safer place for all of us to live and work in. And as we look forward to this new year, Lord, we pray for a year filled with peace. Peace in the world, peace in our country, peace in our city, and peace in our homes. May God bless our graduates today. May God bless the NYPD. And as always, may God bless the United States of America. Amen.
And thank you so much, Assistant Chief Chaplain Monsignor Romano. This class has chosen to recognize their place in the history of the NYPD as witnessed by their class motto, "No one does it alone. Jake has our back," in memory of probationary police officer Jake Siciliano. O'Rourke.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
And thank you so much, Officer Walker. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Mayor and the Police Commissioner, we thank everyone for attending today's graduation ceremony. I request that you please stay in the theater until the recruits have marched out, and then you can join them by the marquee in the front. Have a pleasant day, a safe trip home, and a happy